everyone. It is another full moon coming upon us. And what does that mean? That is a key signal for this webinar named Stepping Up and Stepping Out, making 2021 your best year yet. Most people, more than 50% of us, write down New Year's goals at the beginning of the year. And we're in month 11, halfway through plus. So I would ask you, where are you on your New Year's goals? By the way, I am in Koh Tao, Thailand, live here in a store. Earlier tonight for you, it was beautiful and sunny, but things can change so fast. And when things change fast, we can find an excuse. Oh, I got it. Now I have an excuse. I don't have to do that. So I have found personally with my thinking, some people call it stinking thinking. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. Sometimes our thoughts, we wouldn't even think of other people in some of the thoughts that we think about ourselves over the years. Sometimes we may not give ourselves all the credit that is due. I mean, we're always, not all of us, but many of us are looking at the grass in the other person's yard where it's much greener, or the house is bigger, or there's another car, whatever it happens to be, or they wrote a bigger book, whatever it happens to be. They play sports a little better, but that doesn't mean you need to have an excuse to not do what it is that you have set out for your mind, in your mind, for yourself, or for your family, or for those around you, to go to the next level and step up and step out. So I'll just share one process of thinking I have. And this has totally, every time, without fail, has changed my life and made it better, quite frankly. So I'm like this. It's more when I have a task or a job to do or something to do, and I'm feeling rather comfortable where I am. A lot of it has to do with my travels and doing things and hitting projects. And I just remember so many times of thinking, I don't really feel like going there, doing that, or starting this project, or even going to the gym, or going rowing, or getting on my bike. But I do it, even if I'm tired. I go and I do it. I mean, if I'm really tired, I'll rest. But I get up, and once I start doing the thing, I get fully engaged in it. I just get like the best of me starts to come out. And I realize that this thinking, this little gap of thinking that we call an excuse, we can say anything. Well, the plane ticket costs this, or I got to go to the airport, it's always busy, or whatever I got to do, forget that. Just the matter of the fact is Nike got it so right. Just do it. I mean, 3 words. Couldn't be simpler. And every time I see it, I'm like, this is so powerful. And I'm not necessarily a fan of Nike, but the words I'm a fan of, I live into those words. And it's like, just do it. So I had a little challenge on the ferry to get to this island. There are little restrictions with how you travel and what tests you have to have. And I didn't have any tests, and I didn't have any vaccine. And so they didn't let me go, but my daughter went. So I went, and I'm like, well, I could just hop in the car and go home. But that is not the goal. I'm here spending time on this island and spending time, with daughter. And it's valuable time that we don't get so much today as we used to get. And so I made a decision. I'll just go and I'll do it and I'll enjoy the process. So in that thinking is I know what I got. If I go back to back near Bangkok to my home, I go back there. I know what I got. I know what I'm living. I know what I've been doing there for so long. And that's easy to do. Hop in the car and drive. Forget about it. And not do the thing that seems like the bigger challenge and not get the huge benefits. And so I've only been here for like 36 hours, and it's so nice, so beautiful. Just the boat ride across the bay was supposed to be rough. The air was so charged with ozone. It's like the air is so rich with ozone and oxygen, you want to drink it. I used to say that when I worked on the ships. In the middle of the ocean is the only place you can find this clean, clean, clean air. Tops of mountains, maybe in a desert, but it happened here. And that just, I asked my daughter, I said, can you smell that? So these are the things when you break through, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. But that's really elevated senses that I've learned and earned by traveling the world on ships. And you smell the land 300 miles out, 250 miles out. And if you haven't been isolated and in solitude and all by yourself in the middle of the ocean, and then all these little things come to your senses. And this is when you start taking action and doing new things that you're doing the same old. You won't find out the magic in life, no matter what your goals are. You'll always discover more, because when you take action and break through those excuses, you learn so much that you just like, wow, I didn't know that. And the gifts, one after another gift, and you have to recognize the gifts. God's delays are not God's denials. There's a reason we have to detour. There's more of a lesson. There's more value for us, because guess what? If we get to that thing so fast, we're there, we're done. I accomplished my goal. And well, it was so easy. And sometimes it is. And sometimes it's a journey with lots and lots of richly packed challenges that don't always make us so comfortable. But that's not the point. Does it say in our goals, comfortable? I want to be comfortable. No, it says, I want to be fit. I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. So where I am here, with my so high on this hill, like a lot of people don't want to come up here because it's very exclusive, it's very high, and it's very beautiful. And part of the house is made out of cut out rocks, the cliff, the steps, and the bathroom, and the walls, and it's really, really unique. But people aren't willing to climb these steps to get here. And it's one of the highest views on this island overlooking the bay and the town, and an island and a couple of islands. And I can't show you because it's a downpour. It's the rainy season. So what? That passes. It's only 2 months. And we can have any excuse in the world to not do something. How about we just do it? Or we just say, no more excuses. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So now, this high walk on the hill, some of these roads are steep and it's wet, and I won't ride the motorcycle up the hill. My daughter's driving a motorcycle and says, get one, but I'm not going to drive it up, because if I get a little scratch on it, it's a rental. They'll clean the bank. So the bottom line is, no, I'll walk. And I walked and I walked and I walked. And after doing it 3 times, I said, I'm really grateful that I'm in excellent shape, because I can walk to the top and I'm barely winded at all. And I realized, wow, all of that exercise, all of that fitness, and I don't do crazy hard, really hard working fitness, but I do some hard swimming and bike riding and stuff, and some little bit of weights. So how about you? My point is, we can get any excuse in the world, and I am telling you some stories that I have discovered to help you get over any of the excuses you have. Just how about when I've got a long list of things I can run by, but I'm not going to do it because the process is so simple. The less we think when we want to do something, the less time we get to manufacture in our head an excuse of why not to do something. Like click on the link here and get engaged with stepping up and stepping out. And I'll help you get to where you want to go. You can join every 2 weeks. It's about every 14 days because I used to do only the full moon to reach the goals. So please, if you can find your goals, if you didn't lose them, some of you have them and some are checked off, and I say congratulations. But to those of you who are not and have not checked those off and continue for another year, is this year 3, 4? Is it year 10? I know some things in some of my goals in the past have gone on and maybe even not done today. But I have done many things, and there are still goals that, we want to live into our life. If they're all done, we don't have anything new. So once one thing is done, you go to a higher level and you start to see things differently and feel them differently. And life gets so charged and so empowered that my advice is when the excuse comes, take a deep breath and just turn it off and just do it. Because when you just do it, no matter what the mind says, and you get going, then the rewards start coming. You start writing, you start swimming, you start exercising, you start breathing, you start changing your diet, you start making the list of what you can change in your food. There's a lot of things I talk about in the other segments, and you can go back and see them. So I want to touch on this one. No excuses. The new year's coming again. You can ramp up and you can gain traction and you can get ahead and you can make your life a sculpture, and step up and step out and make 2021 your best year yet. This is Peter Stone saying thank you, and please just do it. Do it. Seems simple? Well, it is simple. Let's not complicate it. Peter Stone saying I'll see you later. Thanks again.